So where did you find the nicer clothes?
They're from Limelight.
From Limelight, okay.
Yes, sir.
What was it about Limelight that you like better than J Dot?
Sir, like I like the environment. जैसे उस दिन आप बात कर रहे थे कि स्टोर्स में म्यूजिक वगैरह लगा होता है, तो सर
Right.
मैंने एक बात शेयर करनी थी। हम एंटर हुए स्टोर में, तो बाबा बाबा हमारे साथ ही जाते हैं, तो उनको ये बात नहीं पसंद। तो उन्होंने बात की उधर जो सेल्स पर्सन होते हैं बॉयज वगैरह,
अच्छा।
तो हमें बोले बगैर बाबा ने उनको बोला कि स्लो करते हैं। तो अभी हमें नहीं पता था कि बाबा क्या बात कर रहे हैं, तो बाबा से पूछा तो बाबा कहते हैं मुझे नहीं ये चीज अच्छी लगी। तो हमने मतलब लाइक उनको भी पता है, लेकिन शायद उनको ये बात नहीं पसंद आ रही होगी। तो बाबा को ये बात समझाई तो कहते हैं अच्छा अच्छा बस ठीक है। तो लाइक वो कह रहे थे कि कस्टमर आता है तो आप उनकी बात सुने, ये म्यूजिक क्यों लगा हुआ है, दिस एंड दैट। तो
Okay.
लाइक उनकी सर्विसेज और डीलिंग वगैरह अच्छी थी, बाकी सब कुछ ठीक।
Did you explain to him why they have the music? What's the
सर मैंने तो बस इतना बोला है कि लाइक क्योंकि हमने ये आउटलेट वाकई में है ना, तो इस्लामाबाद और वहाँ कराची और बिग स्टोर्स में तो ये इट्स मतलब नॉर्मल। तो बाबा को नहीं ठीक लग रहा था।
okay?
तो
Next time you tell him to come and join our consumer behavior class.
यस, उनको एक एयरफोन उनको दे दूंगी, खुद लगा के सुनिए। तो आवाज में सर आवाज नहीं आ रही। यस सर, कनेक्शन स्लो।
hear me? I couldn't hear myself. बाकी सारे लोग जल्दी सो रहे हैं।
सर आवाज आ रही है लेकिन स्लो है, ब्रेक हो रही है आवाज।
Okay, let me see if I can change the Wi-Fi. Okay, I'm out now. भाई आवाज आ रही है आपको मेरी?
यस सर, बट आवाज ब्रेक हो रही है।
अभी ब्रेक हो रही है?
सर आपकी आवाज ब्रेक हो रही है और काफी स्लो आ रही है।
How about now? Any better?
यस सर।
यस सर।
Okay, so see the problem is these Huawei headphones. So they make a product that looks really nice. Okay, they've copied it very nicely from Apple, but the quality is not that good. This is the thing with Chinese products. So I've had a horrible time with these Huawei earbuds. They don't seem to work all that nice. I've got these other ones, the JBL ones, but that's like it makes me look like a DJ. ये अगर लगा लो तो फिर मुझे कोई गाने शाने लगाना पड़ेंगे आप लोगों के लिए, और फिर मरियम खफा होगी।
बड़े प्यारे लग रहे हैं।
ये तो लगा दिया, लेकिन अब मरियम खफा होगी गाने
नहीं
अगर लगा दे।
नहीं सर, मुझे अच्छा लगेगा, बाबा को बुरा लगेगा।
अब सही हो गया आवाज?
यस सर।
Okay, see this is the difference. JBL, Huawei, original copied, right? Well, they copied iPhone. They tried to copy iPhone and Samsung, but they have not done a good job on these. Let's see who's here. There's only 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 people only right now. 8 people in total. This is no good. So let's take the attendance right now. In the meanwhile, I had to reset my whole phone because I got a slightly, I went for the bigger phone. So I had to reinstall everything. Tell the bones that we are here, the class is going on. Okay. How do we invite? Copy joining info. Okay, send message. That should be it. So, today, what are we talking about? Last week on Friday, we talked about motivation, right? Just trying to see where we're at in this. Uh-huh. Okay, so today we'll be looking at
अस्सलाम वालेकुम
personality. जी वालेकुम सलाम।
सर वो क्विज वाला मसला नहीं हल हुआ था सर।
कौन सा क्विज वाला मसला?
सर वो जो आपको फ्राइडे को आई थिंक सो बताया था आपने, एक में सबको शायद 0 दिए थे और प्रोग्रेस भी नहीं आ रही थी, उसमें हमने वीडियो भी देखी थी।
या उसको आई हैव नॉट हैड द टाइम टू अपडेट इट। आप लोग समझते हो कि यार मैं 24 घंटे 7 डेज अ वीक में खाली आप लोगों की क्लास के लिए काम कर रहा था। दैट्स व्हाट यू गाइस थिंक, राइट?
नहीं नहीं सर, ऐसी बात नहीं है, वो
टीचर
टेंशन
को
हो रही
और कोई
थी।
काम नहीं है, टीचर सोता भी नहीं है। टीचर बस 24 घंटे ना, वो जो पुराने जमाने में वो क्या कहते स्लेव्स नहीं होते थे, वो स्लेव वाला काम आप लोग समझते हैं। मुझे रात को 2:30 बजे लोग व्हाट्सएप मैसेज कर रहे हैं, सर मेरा ग्रेड नहीं लगा अभी तक। Right? What the F do you guys think? Matlab, not you, but somebody who messaged me at 2:30 at night time. What do you think I'm doing at 2:30 at night time? I'm most certainly not going to be working on your thing. That was Friday, right?
यस सर, फ्राइडे
And
को।
what is today? Monday. Friday. Today's Monday morning,
यस सर।
right? So can't you just like take it easy? Can't you wait a little bit?
सर वेट ही वेट, कोई मसला नहीं है।
So why are you guys messaging me on weekend? I mean, this is like I don't know if you guys ever go गलती से किसी ने अगर आपको नौकरी दे दी ना, so this is not the way how business works, right?
सर वीकेंड पे तंग नहीं करना चाहिए, सही बात है।
Why do you think that you know, on the weekend the teacher has no life and he's just going to be sitting there? ओए स्टूडेंट ने मैसेज किया, oh let me just reply, right? ओए रात के 3 बजे 3:30 बजे मैसेज आया मुझे, राइट? कि जी ओए 3:30 बजे मैसेज है, उठ जाओ जाग जाओ जी, ओ स्टूडेंट ने मैसेज किए, सच एन इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग, राइट? You guys need to know where to set your limits. First of all, I'm not a full-time teacher, I am a part-time teacher here. I have a full-time job elsewhere. I run my own company, right? Number one. Number two, even if I was a full-time teacher, I would not be working at 3:30 in the morning. So I will do it. If I see the evidence, I'll put up the grade. If I don't see the evidence, it's a 0 as it is. Because I cannot take your word. It's your word versus the word of Udemy. And Udemy is a multinational, multi-billion-dollar corporation, right? और कोई पाकिस्तान में स्टूडेंट जो रात को 3:30 बजे मुझे मैसेज कर रहा है, सर मेरा ग्रेड नहीं लगा, मैंने तो किया था कसम से सर, मैंने तो साइन अप किया था लेकिन वो आ नहीं रहा, यूडेमी जो है वो गलत बता रहा है, राइट? उसको मैं बिलीव करूंगा या यूडेमी को बिलीव करूंगा? राइट, यू टेल मी, हु डू आई बिलीव?
सर बात ऑनलाइन है सर, बोलती हो जाती है, आपको पता तो है हमारा ऑनलाइन
हाँ
सिस्टम।
सीरियसली यार, multi-billion-dollar कॉर्पोरेशंस हैं, मतलब यू नो, ये तो
नहीं
हाथ
सर,
कागज से कर रहे हैं ना, रजिस्टर कर रहे हैं उनके, रजिस्टर एक रजिस्टर से दूसरे रजिस्टर से कॉपी जब करते हैं
लेकिन सर
तो
जिसने
उनको वो
सब्सक्राइब
गलती आ
किया हुआ
सकती है
है,
ना।
स्क्रीनशॉट भी आपको भेजी हुई है, सब कुछ किया हुआ है सर, फिर भी इशू आ रहा है, तो इसमें हमारी गलती तो नहीं है ना सर?
वो स्क्रीनशॉट जो आप मुझे भेज रहे हैं ना, आप लोग, यू गाइस आर सेंडिंग स्क्रीनशॉट्स ऑफ द गूगल क्लासरूम क्विज, not from the Udemy quiz. This is the screenshots that I'm getting. I'm not talking about the Google Classroom.
सर
I'm
यूडेमी की
talking
भी
about the
लिंक
Udemy.
भेजी है।
हाँ तो फिर तुम नहीं मुझे भेजोगी ना रात को 2-2:30 बजे वीकेंड
नहीं
पे?
नहीं, 2:30 बजे नहीं भेजी सर, मैं 2:30 तक नहीं करता।
हाँ बस सैटरडे को भेजी होगी,
नहीं
संडे को
सर,
भेजी होगी।
फ्राइडे फ्राइडे को भेजी है बस।
व्हाट्स योर नेम?
बिलाल सर।
बिलाल, लेट मी चेक।
यस सर।
ये हारिस चीता जो है ना, मुझे 1:30 बजे की मैसेज आया है रात को। right? अब instead of giving marks, then those people who are messaging me at like odd times ना, उनको मैंने minus marks देने हैं. जीरो के बजाय ना साथ साथ एक्स्ट्रा मैंने माइनस भी मार्क्स देने शुरू कर दिए हैं. I will check it when I have time. Right
Yeah,
now, like
thank
as
you.
far as I can see on Udemy, that's who I'm going to trust. That's who I'm going to believe. Right? It's your word
सर
versus the word of a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
सर
Yeah.
सर क्विज में भी सर नंबर नहीं लगे सर.
वो गूगल भी यार खराब है ना यार, आप समझा करें ना, ये तो हुकूमत पाकिस्तान की पीआईए वाले सिस्टम है ना इनका. राइट? गूगल को
अच्छा
क्या पता है, ऐसे ही लॉस में जा रहे हैं, ऐसे ही लिखा होता है मल्टी बिलियन डॉलर कॉर्पोरेशन बन गई है. राइट?
यस सर. सर फिर सर एक लड़के के पहले क्विज में नहीं लगे सर, मेरे दूसरे क्विज में सर नंबर नहीं लगे.
अगर लेट किया तो फिर नंबर नहीं लगेंगे.
सर लेट नहीं किए सर.
आपने ठीक किया, गूगल ने गलत किया होगा, आई डोंट नो. बेसिकली वी हैव टू टेक समबडीज वर्ड फॉर इट, राइट? एंड
यस
as university policy is, I cannot take your word for it. I have to take the word for Google. I have to take the word for Udemy. This is
ठीक.
where the middleman comes in. So it's your word versus the word of Udemy and Google.
यस सर.
अभी आपसे पहले कौन बोल रहा था? बिलाल था?
यस सर बिलाल बोल रहा था.
फुल नेम बिलाल क्या बताया यार तुमने?
Yes, sir.
फुल नेम बताओ अपना.
Sir, Mohammed Bilal.
Mohammed Bilal. Is this the name that you signed up for when you
Yes,
signed up on Udemy?
yes, sir.
There is no record of Mohammed Bilal. जो
Sir,
जिन लोगों के नाम है ना अभी मेरे पास, मरियम, रुबाब, अहमद नियाजी, वजाहत, आदिल इजाज, मोहम्मद तारिक सलीम, मुबीन तारिक, शहजाद अहमद, उमैर सलीम भट्ट, अली हैदर, मलिक ताहिर, सईद मुबशिर, उमर एहसन, मोहम्मद हारिस, अब्दुल वाजिद, Mohammed Safir, and Taqwa Ustad. These are the only people who have signed up for Udemy.
सर पिक्चर भी है मेरे पास तो उसकी पड़ी हुई स्क्रीनशॉट.
अभी भेजो ना हमारे चैट जो है ना इसके अंदर. Let's see what are the pictures you have.
सर व्हाट्सएप पे.
WhatsApp का ग्रुप जो है ना हमारा, उस पे भेजो ताकि
Yes,
everybody can see it.
yes, sir.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर.
Yeah.
सर मोहम्मद हारिस की प्रोग्रेस कितनी आ रही है?
मोहम्मद हारिस 100%.
और सर आपने मुझे 10% मार्क्स मिले हुए थे उसमें और 0 लगा हुआ था.
वो आपने बाद में किया होगा. I'll check it out.
सर आप चेक कर लें, मैंने उसी टाइम पे किया था जिस टाइम पे मैंने साइन इन किया था.
सर
Yeah.
ये सर शहजाद अहमद की सर प्रोग्रेस.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to discuss every person's progress one by one right now.
सॉरी
This
सर.
is not the time or place to look at individual
सर असल में
progress.
टेंशन है सर, क्विज में नंबर नहीं लगे.
आप क्विज की बात करें या असाइनमेंट की बात करो? There's two things here.
सर असाइनमेंट में भी नहीं लगे, क्विज में भी सर. सर क्विज में 10 में 10 नंबर है लेकिन नहीं लगे सर, बाहर नहीं लगे.
और असाइनमेंट में क्या किया था आपने?
सर असाइनमेंट में सर नहीं नंबर लगे सर. असाइनमेंट में भी और क्विज में भी सर. वीडियो मैंने सारी साथ देखी थी पहले. आप लॉग इन भी किया सर, वीडियो भी देखी सब. जुम्मे वाले दिन सुबह से लेकर शाम 3 बजे तक सर वीडियो देखते रहा हूँ. क्लास भी लिया सर पूरी, फिर भी आपने.
वो आप मुझे फिर मैसेज करो ना सेपरेटली.
जी ठीक है सर.
ओ भाई, ये जो तुम वीडियोस देख रहे हो ना, ये वो नॉन साइंड वाले लग रहे हैं मुझे।
नहीं सर, इसमें नीचे लॉग आउट का ऑप्शन भी है, मैं वो भी आपको दिखा सकता हूँ।
ये तो आपने लॉग इन कर लिया ना, क्रिएट कर लिया, लेकिन यू हैव नॉट सब्सक्राइब टू द कोर्स। उसके
सर
अंदर
वो भी।
पीछे बैकग्राउंड में इट डज नॉट शो यू यू हैव सब्सक्राइब टू द कोर्स। This does
सर वो
not show anywhere that you have subscribed to the course.
सर मुझे तो
ये
इनकी
तो
मेल।
आपने तो अकाउंट बना लिया on Udemy, that's fine, but you did not subscribe to the course. The videos that you watched are what we call, जो 3-4 free videos जो डाली हुई हैं वो वाली हैं। These are not the full course videos, right? 1 घंटे का पूरा कोर्स जो है ना, वो आपने नहीं किया हुआ। That's why I told you guys need to use that link that I sent you. You're supposed to have used that link to sign up for that particular course. अब वो 3 या 4 जो फ्री वीडियोस उन्होंने डाली हुई थी ना, वो आपने कर ली हैं। At that time I had sent you a code for the whole course to sign up for free, right? You did not sign up for the course. So that screenshot does not show you have signed up for the course. That's why you got a 0 in it. It's the same thing कि जी आपने इंस्टाग्राम का अकाउंट बना लिया, उसके बाद आपने फॉलो नहीं किया किसी को, आप खाली वो उसकी जो है ना, वो सर्च में प्रोफाइल जो है ना वो देख रहे हैं। That's the same thing. I mean, that's the best way I can explain it to you.
लेकिन सर वीडियोस तो मैंने देखी हैं इसमें।
वही जो इंस्टाग्राम पे जो 3-4 वो उन्होंने पब्लिक वीडियोस डाली होती हैं, वो तो आपने देख ली हैं। तो एक्चुअल सारी चीजें थी वो तो आपने नहीं देखी,
सर आपकी
राइट?
4-5 वीडियोस थी ना उसमें, मैंने वो 4-5 वीडियो सारी देखी हैं।
4-5 नहीं थी ना इसके अंदर, 25-30 वीडियोस थी उसके अंदर।
सर वो चार
जो
पांच वो थी।
4-5 वो, that is because you did not sign up for the course. You did not sign up for the course. आपने इंस्टाग्राम पे गए, अकाउंट बना लिया, right? You went to Udemy, you created an account. This is what you've done so far. Then you saw my course, you saw the profile, ठीक है ना? अब उस प्रोफाइल में 3-4 जो फ्री फोटोज आती है ना, वो जो पब्लिक फोटोज हैं वो आपने देख ली, लेकिन you did not click on follow on the button of the person. Once you follow, then you can see the whole person's photos, right? So once you subscribe to the course, then you can see all of the videos in there. You did not see all of the videos because you have not subscribed to the course. Simple as that. That's the end of the story for that. That is why your name is not coming up on that also. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at personality and self-image. How do I share screen? There we go. Can you guys see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
good. So that is it's chapter 4 from this book on consumer behavior. This particular book, जो PPTs मुझे मिली थी, they were from the Canadian edition, but it doesn't really make a difference. The only difference is that the case studies and the examples that they have given are more Canadian and American. But obviously, we are going to look at our own examples. So we talked about motivation. Now, moving on from motivation, what affects motivation? One of the things that affects motivation is personality. Another thing that affects motivation is your self-image. and also your lifestyle. All of these three things have a major impact on a consumer and their buying processes and their buying decision. Um, okay, now see this example that they've given this because this PPTs I got were from the Canadian version. So they're giving you examples from Canada, and they've gotten this example from Dove.ca, which is Dove from Canada. Do you see yourself as beautiful? Only 1% of all women see themselves as beautiful. So we've got 4 young ladies here, right? Are they all here today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how many of you see yourself as beautiful? Okay, हंसी से पता चल गया आपके जवाब का, right? So they asked this question to Canadian women. How many of you see yourself as beautiful? Why? Well, we can apply this to Pakistan also. We can apply this to Pakistan. We can apply this to UK. We can apply this to India. We can apply this to African countries. This particular example is applicable in Middle East, literally all over the world. Why? What happens is that what you see in magazines, what you see in television, what you see in movies, what you see in advertisements, the image of women that they show is very different from what the average woman looks like in those countries, in those places. So in India, they always show you these very fair-skinned, very light-skinned women, whereas the reality is most Indians are not fair-skinned. Most Indians are relatively darker-skinned people. So what happens is then the products that they're selling also, the skin lightening creams and stuff, what that does is it makes most of the women in India feel not pretty, not beautiful. Okay. In the West, we have this issue where they always show very, very skinny, very tall women, right? In reality, what country has got like women who are 5'10", right? There's very few places like that. I think if you go to Scandinavian countries, like Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, maybe Netherlands, you will find women who are very tall. But they're not, but they could be very tall, but they won't be very skinny also, right? So it's a mixture of super skinny and super tall, right? That's what they show on television. That's what they show as models. And that's what they show as an image of beauty. But that's not the reality. So what happens, in those countries, women who are not very tall, they don't see themselves as pretty or beautiful or whatever. So either way, what happens is in most countries we're portraying a wrong image of beauty. So what Dove did, they had a campaign some years ago. I don't know if you guys saw that campaign, where they showed the women in their advertisements who were not super skinny and super tall. They showed women who are like normal women that you'd see out in the streets, the average women out in the streets. They used them for their campaign for Dove. Do we see that problem happening in Pakistan as well, where they show a certain type of women which is not really realistic? Okay, so there's two things here. Okay, number one, some people are genetically very skinny. Okay, that's part of genes. I know somebody. This lady, I just met her the other day in E7. I was going on bike riding, and I met this lady, and I met her sister also. They're walking. I was going on my bike, and both of them are really, really skinny. Okay, it's just part of their genes. This lady, she just had a child, her second or third child, right? Usually after second or third child, this is a natural process. Women, they gain a lot of weight. But this woman was super, super, super skinny, right? And I asked her, like, oh, is this your first child? She said, no, this is my third child, right? That's just, part of the some people genetically are, very, very slim. Similarly, some people, because their genes, they become very fat. It's not because they eat a lot, but that's just the way how it is. They gain a lot of weight. Okay, so we're not talking about those type of people where, from a genetic perspective, they're either very skinny or they're very fat. We're talking about the people who, these models. What happens is they starve themselves. Uh, they eat very very little. That's what we're talking about. So in Pakistan, what kind of image are they portraying? Thank you for volunteering, Adil.
Yes, sir.
हाँ जी बताएं यार, what type of image do you see them portraying in Pakistan?
और बस ऐसे न्यूट्रल सा ही है, कोई खास नहीं है।
Are you sure? ड्रामे देखते हैं यार?
सर थोड़े बहुत देखते हैं आजकल, वो एक अक्सर ही देखते हैं।
कौन से वाले ड्रामे देख रहे हैं आजकल?
सर वो अर्तुगरुल गाजी।
अच्छा अर्तुगरुल, ठीक है यार, सही है। That's a
बस
good
वो
one.
एक एपिसोड देख लेते हैं, फिर
अच्छा,
ऐसे चल जाता है।
उसके एपिसोड भी बहुत ज्यादा है ना, 50,000 एपिसोड है उसके।
सर इतने ज्यादा है कि मतलब बहुत ही ज्यादा है।
I think first season में 100+ एपिसोड है।
सर मतलब 85 एपिसोड हैं उसकी, मतलब मेरा अभी फर्स्ट सीजन की मतलब 51 चल रही है अभी, और उसके 4 या 5 सीजन्स हैं।
अच्छा, मैंने अटेंडेंस लोड कर लिए for today's class, Monday, July 20th. So those of you who are here, if you can open a second window and just do the attendance also, because I see only 14 people. आखिर में होना ये है कि 26 people will have signed the attendance, right? So I will close the attendance today at the end of the class. I'll totally close it, okay? So just do the attendance. Anybody else? पाकिस्तानी ड्रामा में क्या दिखा रहे हैं?
सर सास बहू चल रही है आजकल, और तो कुछ नहीं।
वो तो पता नहीं किस जमाने से सास बहू की कहानी चल रही है ना।
बाहर तो ऐसा, वो तो स्टोरीज होती हैं मतलब।
यस उमर हसन, एक सेकंड देखते हैं उमर जगह है।
यस सर मैं सुन रहा हूँ सर।
Andy, tell me, what kind of image do you see? What do you see in television?
सर मैं ड्रामे ज़्यादा देखता तो नहीं हूँ, लेकिन जो थोड़ा बहुत मैंने देखा है उससे आपकी बात से सर एग्री करता हूँ सर, कि यानी आप रियलिटी में जब देखते हो तो कुछ डिफरेंट होता है, और जो ड्रामा में देखते हो वो ज़्यादा अच्छा दिखाया जाता है।
It's different. Okay. Let's talk to some of the young ladies. Taqwa. तकवा जागी है? नाश्ता बना लिए? Taqwa, I think, still sleeping right now. Narfa. Narfa, sorry, मुझे लगता है. Rubab, thank you for volunteering.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, both of you are on right now. Okay, let me just go to Narfa first, Rubab. Narfa, so
according to me, Pakistani drama जितने भी हैं वो reality based नहीं है, और
they're not.
Sorry, sir.
So what are the things they're not showing according to reality?
Sir,
एक तो सास बहू वाले जिनके से है ना, वो तो है ही है।
जी सर, मुझे आपका क्वेश्चन नहीं समझ आया, सॉरी।
अच्छा, what we're talking about is the models, the actors they use, right? So tell me about that. Are they realistic looking people or are they non-realistic looking people?
सर वो रियलिस्टिक ही लगता है, मतलब कुछ ड्रामों में, पर कुछ में बहुत फेक होता है।
Okay.
अब उसको नहीं कंपेयर नहीं कर सकते सर। लाइक कुछ ड्रामों में वाकई में कुछ चीजें जो सिनेरियो या जो भी होता है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली बहुत रियलिस्टिक होता है, पर
Okay.
अगर आजकल के न्यू ड्रामे जो भी आ रहे हैं वो बहुत अनरियलिस्टिक हैं और रियलिटी बिल्कुल बेस नहीं करती उनके ऊपर, और मतलब ऐसा ही है।
Okay, that's true. Good. Rubab,
Yes, sir.
Hanji, tell me about. It could be dramas, it could be Pakistani social media, it could be, anything you see on ads on television.
So, in my opinion, it's totally different. Like, reality में कुछ और होता है, and dramas में जो like ads वगैरह में या social media accounts पे जो portray किया जा रहा होता है वो बिल्कुल like most of the time like वो different होता है. For example, like social media पे like we are friends and all के pictures post हो रही होती हैं like models की और actresses की, ठीक है, and थोड़े दिनों बाद पता लगता है कि उनके बीच में कोई feud था, उनकी लड़ाई हो गई and whatsoever.
Okay.
And जहाँ तक ड्रामास की बात है, जो लाइक अगर करेक्टर की बात की जाए, जो प्रोटोगनिस्ट होता है उसको इतना अच्छा दिखा देते हैं कि लाइक रियल लाइफ में कोई इतना अच्छा हो ही नहीं सकता, लाइक इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. और जो बुरा होता है उसको इतना बुरा दिखा देते हैं कि मतलब बस उसको जहर दे दो कि वो फिर इतना मतलब इतना बुरा है. तो इस
Yes,
तरह
okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That happens also.
And if talking about the beauty, तो अब like जहाँ तक हमको पता है कि जो like actresses वगैरह वो लोग surgeries वगैरह इस तरह का चीजें भी करती हैं, तो like
injections,
हाँ तो
whitening injections.
तो
Yes,
अगर
yes. Sorry, I just want to add to that. I remember there was one lady. I don't know her name because I don't watch dramas that much. वो बस मैं गुजर रहा होता हूँ कमरे से तो वो टीवी पे वो ड्रामे लगे होते हैं तो थोड़ा सा you see it. She was like I think वो साउथ कराची की वो कोई एक्ट्रेस थी तो she was quite like मतलब dark skinned, right? And I'm not saying she's not she was ugly or anything. She had good features, right? She was, but she was सांवला जिसको कहते हैं, right? अभी मैंने देखा ड्रामे में तो बिल्कुल गोरी चिट्टी हुई है. I was like, what happened to her? मैंने कहा अम्मी इसको क्या हुआ है? तो अम्मी ने कहा कि थाईलैंड गई थी उधर से इंजेक्शन लगा के आ गई है. मैंने कहा यार कसम से. And those things they cause cancer, right? Most people don't know.
yes sir.
But those things, but she was like pretty good looking, she was a good looking woman, but सांवला रंग था, that's it, but उसने इंजेक्शन लगा के. एक और अभी एक्टर है जैसे पाकिस्तानी एक्टर, मेल एक्टर, राइट, लड़के भी कर रहे, सुन लो यार तुम लोग. तो उसकी नाक बड़ी अजीब सी लग रही थी ना. मैंने कहा यार इसकी नाक को क्या हुआ है, राइट. तो उस बेचारे ने भी जाके सर्जरी कराई है थाईलैंड से, पता नहीं किधर से, एंड इट वेंट रॉन्ग, द सर्जरी वेंट रॉन्ग. And he's a good actor. I mean, as an actor, I think he's a good actor. But this was the unfortunate thing. उसने अपनी नाक खराब कर ली है बेचारे ने.
सर
हाँ जी.
अभी रिसेंटली एक पाकिस्तानी एक्टर है, उसको मूवी ऑफर हुई थी लेकिन उसको बोला गया है कि आप इंजेक्शंस लगाएंगे, आपका कलर डार्क है, तो उसने रिजेक्ट कर दिया.
Good.
लाइक मतलब ये सर उसका इंस्टाग्राम पे पूरा इंटरव्यू गिवन है.
That's good. Who is this guy? I have a lot of respect for him.
Yes, I will search. मतलब मुझे नाम नहीं याद लेकिन मैंने कल परसों ही देखा इंटरव्यू.
वो इन लोगों ने वो जुनैद जमशेद का गाना नहीं सुना, सावनी सोनी, वो वाला जो था. See, this is
इसमें एग्जांपल महमूद बलोच की भी है.
हाँ,
50 years old और पता नहीं चलता.
महमूद बलोच तो शी इज अ वैम्पायर यार, समझा करो ना यार. वो तो हम बचपन में थे तो वो उस तरह जिस तरह वो दिखाई देती थी ना बचपन में, अभी आके हम बूढ़े हो गए वो हमसे ज्यादा यंग लगती है, ज्यादा फ्रेश लगती है.
ऐसे ही सर.
अच्छा, some people have a genetic thing also. Let's keep this one thing in mind. There's a few people whose genes are very, very good, right? So if you look at Tom Cruise, right? You would not believe this, but I actually saw Tom Cruise in real life. This is a long time ago. वो movie नहीं है उसकी, A Few Good Men. Anybody who watched that movie? Nobody likes Tom Cruise? Not kare. Ladkiyan to, I'm sure some of you girls must like Tom Cruise here. Hello? Anybody?
नो सर, ये अर्तुगरुल के एपिसोड खत्म हो जाए तो बड़ी बात है, फिर जाएंगे तो।
Achha, I saw Tom Cruise long time ago. Like I was very little at that time. They were shooting a movie at that time. और हमें पता ही नहीं था कि Tom Cruise है कौन, because I was so little. This is in Boston, and so they were shooting, and you know, literally what he looked like back then, he still looks like now, right? Amir Khan, right? That's another example. He's got good genes. You know, he looks quite young, right? So there's some people who've got good genes, right? Genetically, it's quite strong. Okay, just like I said, genetically, some people will be they have a tendency of gaining weight. Some people have tendency of staying skinny, right? Some people have a tendency of looking younger, right? Some people their hair go white, you know, in very young age. That happens. It's a genetic thing.
Yes, sir.
But that is like, you know, what we call, you know, special cases. They're outliers from a statistics
Yes, sir.
point of view, right? They're called outliers, right? From a statistics point of view.
Outliers.
Yeah, that's the name. That's the term we use in statistics. So most people fit in the middle of our, you know, the average persons, right? Most of us are in the average. The people who are in the extremes, you know, the one who look very young at you know, despite being very old, or the ones who start looking very old at a young age. These are outliers because they fall on the outsides of the main, you know, middle curve. Okay, so yeah, we have those type of people as well, but majority of the people, you know, they are in the middle of our statistical curve, right? They're the average people. So Tom Cruise, Amir Khan, these are the outliers. But yes, I've seen so many people. Oh, Mishi Khan मैंने देखी थी उस दिन. You guys know Mishi Khan?
Yes, sir. बहुत बुटी है.
वो मिशी खान को मैंने देखा, वो somebody told me कि ये तो वो एक्ट्रेस है. मैंने कहा कौन एक्ट्रेस है? कहते वो उधर मैंने देखा था उसको अल्फता में, सेंटोरस में, राइट? कहते ये तो मिशी खान है. मैंने कहा नहीं यार, ये तो मिशी खान नहीं हो सकती, because I saw her first time after a very long time. I was like, what the heck has she done with her face? Right? इतना बोटॉक्स लगा दिया कि वो कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रही थी कि who the heck is she, right? So yeah, I mean, like, you know, people do that kind of stuff also. But why do they do it? Because there is this wrong image. There's a false image of beauty, right? Which has been created by the media. Okay. Unfortunately, Pakistani media follows Western media. So Indian media is following Western media. And obviously, in the Western media, you know, they're going to have a lot more white people than they're going to have black people, right? So why are you trying to copy, you know, people who are culturally very different than you, right? Yes, we have the fair-skinned people in Pakistan as well, but that does not mean everybody should be fair-skinned, right? Majority of the people in Pakistan are like, you know, medium-skinned. Now, if you compare Pakistanis to Indians, then Pakistanis have got fairer skin than the Indians, for example, right? It's just the way how it is. Because Pakistan is, you know, the type of people who've been living here, you know, they are, you know, generally more fair-skinned than say people who live in India. That's just the way how it is, right? So you know, media does show these wrong impressions, you know, of people, and that's wrong because that creates a bad impression with the youth, with our people. So if you move on to the next slide, is what is personality? Personality is defined as the inner psychological characteristics that both determine and reflect how a person responds to his or her environment. So these are, you know, things that are inside us, the psychological characteristics that any person will respond to the environment, what is happening around them. Okay? And different people in, you know, based on their personality, will respond to different situations, different things differently. Um, the nature of personality is as such that personality reflects individual differences. Obviously, every person is different. Even if you look at twins, does anybody have twins in their family? Anybody have twins in their family? Anybody a twin here? मुझे पता है रुबाब जो है ना, she's got a twin because वो अपनी बहन को जो है ना भेज देती है क्लास अटेंड करने के लिए.
No, sir, मैं खुद ही हूँ.
Mariam's got a lot of sisters, but any twins in there?
No twins.
No twins. Anybody else? किसी family में cousins वगैरह, anything of that sort?
Sir, friends में.
Friends में, okay. Tell me about them. Do you know the personality? Is it like similar? Is it different?
Sir, completely different.
Completely different, right? I've got a number of twins in my family. So my cousin, मुझसे बड़े जो cousin है, काफी बड़े हैं actually. In fact, my cousin married to my cousin. उनके twins हैं, two girls, like identical twins. They look exactly the same, but personalities are very, very different. One of them, she's very outgoing. She is very talkative. The other one is, very reserved, very quiet. So when I pick up the phone, when I call, तो मैं अगर फोन करूं तो उनमें से कोई उठा ले फोन तो मुझे आवाज से तो नहीं पता चलेगा क्योंकि आवाज दोनों की एक जैसी है, राइट? शक्लें भी एक जैसी हैं, but just the way how they respond back. So I would call, जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम, सजाद डाला है, आप कौन, तो वो the one who's talkative, she would automatically start asking questions, कि जी how are you, how's the weather, etc, etc. The other one, जी उस्मान भाई ठीक है, मैं एक सेकंड में देती हूँ फोन, just no other questions you'd give directly to the other person. So identical twins, but very different personalities, right? So personality is something that reflects individual differences. So people can look the same, but they can have very different personalities. Personality usually is consistent and enduring over time. So people's personalities don't really change much over time. It can change, but usually that is something that either will take time for the personality to change, or sometimes there's something extreme that happens to these people, right? Some event that takes place. It could be an accident or something, really shocking that people go through that can change the personality. So, but usually personality is consistent over a long period of time. How many of you would say that you are outgoing and extroverts?
Me.
Mariam, okay. Bilal, outgoing or extrovert or introvert? Introverts are people who are quiet and shy.
जी सर.
Are you an extrovert or an introvert?
सर मैं बहुत इंट्रोवर्ट हूँ.
Okay. Rubab.
Yes, sir.
Extrovert or introvert?
So, like, I'm a mixture of both.
In between.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it situation wise or is it like just normally in between?
Situation wise, sir.
Okay, so what situations make you an introvert?
Like, so when there's a crowd or there are a lot of people around,
Okay.
or like especially when like I have to call someone, like I can't talk like on call. So
Okay.
yes, and extrovert is like when I'm with like the people I like, I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
So I can be very confident at that time.
Right.
है ना?
Okay,
सर
good.
समटाइम ऐसा होता है ना
Yes, Mubin, go ahead.
सर, समटाइम आपकी पर्सनैलिटी इस तरह रिफ्लेक्ट करती है मतलब आप पे डिपेंड करता है सिचुएशन के ऊपर। कभी आप बहुत पीक पे होते हो, आपका बड़ा दिल करता है निकलने का और उस दिन आप धूम मचा देते हो। लेकिन कभी कभी आपका दिल ही नहीं करता, लिटरली डोंट बॉदर, आप कहते हो छोड़ो यार, सारी फजूल काम है।
Yes, that happens also. Good, good. I like these examples. Yeah, keep them coming. Um, you know, it could be situational wise. It could be like Rubab said, depends who she's with. Um, who else? Adil bhai,
यस सर।
introvert or extrovert?
सर इंट्रोवर्ट ही हैं।
Introvert, yeah, okay. Mubashir, Sayyid Mubashir Hamza. Sorry.
जी जी सर, अकॉर्डिंग टू सिचुएशन, कभी कभी सब दोस्त हो तो फिर कभी कभी बंदे को चुप कर जाना पड़ता है यार, बात पे बोलना नहीं पड़ता, फिर बंदा
अच्छा,
मान जाता है। गूगल
okay,
गूगल ही मुद्दा मसला है। और कभी
okay,
कभी बस बात कुछ ऐसी हो जाए तो फिर बंदा वो टाइम के लिहाज से अकॉर्डिंग टू सिचुएशन बिहेव कर जाता है।
okay, okay. Good, interesting. So in your case, you if you're with friends, sometimes you become an introvert. That's okay. Uh, Haris, Mohammed Haris,
यस सर।
introvert or extrovert?
सर इंट्रोवर्ट।
Mostly introvert. Okay.
यस सर।
Shazad Ahmed,
Yes, sir. Sir,
introvert or
introvert. Yes,
mostly
sir,
introvert? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Abdul Wajid,
Yes, sir.
are you an introvert or extrovert?
Introvert, sir.
Introvert. Okay. Umar Hassan,
Yes, sir. Sir, I think, sir, I am an introvert.
you're an introvert. Okay. And Narfa,
Sir, introvert.
introvert. Okay, it's interesting. A lot of people who are introverts, and then some people who are. It depends on the situation. Okay. Um, so moving on, we look at theories of personality. There are the Freudian theories, which says the unconscious needs or drives are at the heart of human motivation. So unconsciously, we have certain needs, we have certain drives, and that makes people behave in a certain way. There are three interactive systems. Okay, the ID, which is the primitive and impulsive drives, the superego, which talks about the individual's internal expression of society's moral and ethical codes of conduct, and the ego, which are the individual's conscious control. The non-Freudian personality theories look at things like social relationships are fundamental to the formation and development of personality. For example, the cat theory. So the Freudian is looking at you internally, what's inside you. And they're talking about, your personality depends on you, okay, as who you are. Whereas the non-Freudian looks at the social relationships, okay. Within that, the CID theory is, this, it says using the context of child-parent relationship. Individuals can be classified into either compliant individuals, aggressive individuals, or detached individuals, okay. So a compliant personality is one who desires to be loved, wanted, and appreciated by others. Aggressive personality is one who moves against others, who competes with others, desires to excel and win admiration. And a detached personality is one who moves away from others. For example, people who desire independence, self-sufficiency, and freedom from obligations. Okay. Then we continue with more personality theories. There's the cognitive theory of personality. And the cognitive theory basically says personality as differences in cognitive processes, how consumers process and react to information. Now, there are many different theories. I'm not going to go into detail with a lot of these theories because this is quite, a lot of this related to psychology and HR stuff. But we're going to briefly go through all of these, just to give you an overview of all the different theories that are there. There's the need for cognition, a person's craving for enjoyment of thinking, right? So people with high NC are consumers who are likely to relate better to written messages. They want product-related information. They spend more time processing print ads, enjoy using the internet to get information. Okay, so people who like thinking, right? Cognition is thinking. People who are good at that, they want more information. And consequently, if we know our customers are high in cognition, then to target those customers, we are going to work better on the written messages. We are going to want more product related information that we want to give to them. So as a marketer, that's what we're going to do. Now, this is an important bit, visualizers versus verbalizers. Okay, a person's preference for information presented visually or verbally. Think about it from yourself as well. When you study, when you learn, are you a visualizer or are you a verbalizer? Okay, a person's preference for information presented visually or verbally. Visualizers require strong visual elements. It could be in advertisements, it could be anything else, but you like to see things done visually. And verbalizers prefer written information, print ads, question answer format, etc. So let's go back to everybody here. When you study, right? I think I'm a visualizer, and when I say I'm a visualizer, what do I mean? So when I study, I like to put everything. I like to draw things out, even theories and complex stuff. I like to draw those type of things out. In fact, if I can show you just now, I've got it saved somewhere here. Just give me a second. I've got these different color markers actually. Okay, so what I do is, I don't know if you guys can see this, right? I've got different color highlighters, right? These are just some of them. I've got a few more colors also. So when I'm reading, I will highlight different theories and different themes with different colors, right? So I've got like 5-6 different color highlighters. The yellow, the lime green, the pink, the lilac, the light blue, and so on and so forth. So even if I'm reading something, I like to color code things. I like to draw things out because I am a visualizer. I like to visualize everything. Some people, they're good at just reading things out. Okay, so how do you learn? Which one are you better at? Are you a visualizer or verbalizer? Let's do this on the chat. Are you guys in the chat also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's hear from the people who are visualizers. Anybody here consider themselves as a visualizer? Okay, Rubab says she's a visualizer.
सर प्लीज एक दफा मुझे फिर से समझा दें, शायद हमें क्लियर नहीं हुआ.
Okay, so for you to understand something, right? कुछ लोग होते हैं ना कि वो पढ़ लेते हैं ना, जो चीज उन्हें पढ़ ली उनको समझ आ जाती है, right? Those are the verbalizers, right? या फिर if you talk about it, if you read it out loud, आपको उसकी समझ आ जाती है. But the visualizers are ones who read it and then they have to draw it out, right? Okay, or I have to take different color markers and I have to highlight different things in different colors. Once I do that, then I understand, oh, okay, this is what it is, right? So for example, अभी वो आपको थोड़ी देर बाद शायद कोई डस की आवाजें आए, मैं छत पे काम करा रहा हूँ अपना, okay? Just to give you an idea, okay? Now छत पे मैं काम करा रहा हूँ, I need to have some work done, and what I've done is I was measuring. I'm building some stairs as well. Okay, so now some people who are the verbalizers, वो क्या करेंगे? उन्होंने measure कर लिया height, distance, वो mathematical formulas डाल के they will figure out how to do it. I'm a visualizer. So मैंने क्या किया? मैंने actually I drew the picture of the stairs. कि जी वो stairs कैसे होंगी? उसकी width कितनी होगी? Height कितनी होगी? जो total height है roof की वो कितनी होगी? So I like to draw things out. This is how I understand, right? अब यही चीज जो वर्बलाइजर्स होंगे वो एक मैथमेटिकल फॉर्मूला बना देंगे एंड दे विल मेक अ सेंस आउट ऑफ इट, हाँ इसको इस तरह होना चाहिए, राइट? But I'm not that type of person. I like to draw things out to make myself understand what is happening, right? So the visualizers will take this as this. The people who are verbalizers, उन्हें क्या करना है? उन्होंने इसी चीज का एक फॉर्मूला बना देना है, right? They will take a formula and they'll try to solve the formula, right? यही formula जो है मैंने इसका visualize formula, I've done it on a visual basis, right? So how many of you are visualizers who like to draw things out or color things in, and how many people will just take a formula and say, okay, yeah, this is it? Or if you're reading a book, verbalizer, okay.
Yes.
Mubashir says basically a verbalizer, but I think level of interest matters here, okay. Mobeen says he's a visualizer. Ali Heather says, I love breaking down difficult things into diagrams and graphs. So you are a visualizer. Abdul Wajid is also visualizer. Muhammad Umar is visualizer. Mariam is verbalizer. Narfa says she's a visualizer. Rubab is a visualizer. Adil is also a visualizer. Okay, so we got different ways of learning, right? We have different ways of learning. Each person will have a different way of doing things. Just to give you an example, from a marketing perspective, what do we want? Why do we need to know what people are, visualizers or verbalizers? Because then we can design our advertisements according to that particular category. So if we know, for example, most of our customers are going to be visualizers, right? Then the type of ads we have will have more visual elements in it. If we know that most of our customers are going to be verbalizers, then most of the ads that we're going to have will have more words in it, will have more text in it, so on and so forth, right? So that is why it is important for us to know whether our customers, our target audience is visualizer or verbalizer. Continuing with the theories of personality, there's something called the trait theory. Right? The trait theory basically says quantitative approach to personality as a set of psychological traits. It could be single traits or multiple traits. Okay, so basically what we're saying is your personality is a mixture of different traits that people have. Okay, and those traits determine your personality. Some theories focus on single traits and some theories focus on multiple traits. Now let's look at this. Can you guys see this graph? It's a bit, this chart, it's a bit small. Does it matter?
Yes, sir. Difficult to see, sir.
It's a bit small, right? Okay. If I were to use this magnifier, can I know? That's not it. If I were to use this magnifier, does that help? Does that make it bigger?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I were to use the magnifier, let us see how much bigger. Any better now?
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Because it's the problem is I do not know what you guys are seeing. So like what is showing on my screen is different from, I think slightly different from what's showing on your screen. So the 5-factor model here, it looks at 5 traits. Trait number 1 is extroversion, which is talkative, enjoys being in large groups, and hates being alone. Trait number 2 is instability, people who are moody, touchy, and temperamental. Trait number 3 is agreeableness, people who are sympathetic, polite, and kind to others. Trait number 4 is openness to experience, so people who are innovative, find new solutions to problems, they love art, and are imaginative. And trait number 5 is conscientiousness, which are people who are careful, they're efficient, and they are precise. And obviously, people who are opposite each of these. So the opposite of extrovert are the introverts, right?
the opposite of instability are the stability, right? And so on and so forth. Okay, so these are the 5 traits. Now, it's not necessary each one of us will fall into only one of those. It is highly likely that we will have some elements of each of these 5, or some of these. It could be that, okay, I could be introvert sometimes, I could be agreeable sometimes, and I could be conscientious sometimes, right? These are things that you have to think about yourself from your own perspective. Consumer materialism is one which talks about the extent to which a person is considered materialistic. Fixed consumer behavior is consumers who are fixated on certain products or categories of products. So people who have like this extreme interest in some type of products, right? So for example, I know aapke jo HOD hai, Dr. Bilal Mirza, he is highly fixated on electronics, IT products, right? So whenever these new things come out, I know he's like one of the first people to go out and buy these new technology products, right? So I am okay in technology, but I'm not that to that level, right? Some people are really into that. Is there any type of product that you feel you are fixated on? It could be jewelry, it could be clothing, it could be perfumes, it could be electronics, whatever, anything. लोग फिर से सो गए मुझे लगता है. I'll have to start picking up.
मुझे पता नहीं है लेकिन मैं जाग गया सर.
अब क्या सुबह सवेरे 12 साढ़े 12 बजे जाके आ गए. Thank you very much for coming to class.
सर देखिए मैंने बोला है सर, लेकिन देखिए बाकी बोल नहीं.
आदिल भाई तुम कस्टमर के साथ बैठे होंगे अभी.
नहीं सर, आपकी बात सुन रहा हूँ.
दुकान शिकान बेचने की कोशिश कर रहे होंगे लोगों को.
नहीं सर जी, आपकी बात सुन रहा हूँ.
Are you? Would you say you're fixated on certain type of products or product categories?
ज्वेलरी का भी होता है, वॉचेस का भी होता है.
Okay. I said we'll come back to this later. ये quiz में मैंने डालना है, ठीक है. These are questions that will come on the quiz. ये जो है ना, I'm gonna write this down. Trade theories will come in the quiz. Okay, so consumer materialism, fixed consumer and compulsive consumption, right? So compulsive consumption, people who are addicted or out of control. Any of you seen that movie Shopaholic? थोड़ी सी पुरानी movie है with Reese Witherspoon. Anybody seen that movie Shopaholic? Ali Heather's seen it. Okay, good. With what's her name? Reese Witherspoon.
Yes, I've seen that movie.
Right. Okay. So what happens with Reese Witherspoon?
She's obsessed with buying different types of clothes, and especially that green scarf that she buys. Yeah.
She's like, she just needs to buy things, and she won't even use most of those things. She just buys them, right?
Yeah, I think it's like one of those compulsive things, like OCD.
Yes. Right. Mariam is compulsive. Mariam,
yes, sir?
What are you compulsive buyer on certain type of things?
सर सॉरी, मेरा कनेक्टिविटी इशू था तो बार-बार मीटिंग लीव हो रही थी. आप अगेन रिपीट.
Okay, we'll come back to you. ये अहमद न्याजी जो है ना, he's compulsive with नस्वार.
सर अब समझ आ गया.
अल्लाह माफ करे जी सर, क्या कह दिया
जिधर
आपने?
नस्वार नजर आती है ना, बस जाके नस्वार बस वो खरीद लेते हैं।
नहीं नहीं सर, ये बिल्कुल गलत अफवाह है सर, बिल्कुल।
50
सर बिल्कुल
मुख्तलिफ किस्म की नस्वार इसने जमा किए हैं घर में।
सर जी नहीं
इसके पास कलेक्शन है, पूरी कलेक्शन पड़ी हुई है।
सर जी, कलेक्शन कहाँ मिलती है वो पता, लेकिन मैंने नहीं रखी कसम से।
इसके पास बनु की नस्वार है, मर्दान की नस्वार है, स्वाबी वाली नस्वार है।
सर जी वो सर लेदा बात है, अगर आपको चाहिए मिल जाएगी। मेरे
K2
पास
की
है, लेकिन मैं जुगाड़
देखो,
लगाऊंगा कहीं।
असल बात आ गई है ना। देखो कहते सर आपको चाहिए तो मिल जाएगी, किधर से मिलेगी?
सर
इसके
वही
पास पड़ी हुई है ना सारी।
सर वो
इसने तो
समझो,
अमेरिका से भी ऑर्डर किया है, जॉर्ज बुश वाली नस्वार भी ऑर्डर की हुई है इसने।
सर आप तो ऐसे कह रहे हैं, मैं आपसे मंगवाता रहूं सर, आपको सारी याद है आपको। नहीं सर, ये नस्वार सर अच्छी चीज है, बुरी भी चीज है, पता नहीं कैसी चीज है। तो नहीं सर, नस्वार नहीं, बाकी चीजें ठीक है, नस्वार नहीं।
क्यों नस्वार नहीं? यार जॉर्ज बुश प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स नस्वार करता था।
सर वो तो फिर जॉर्ज बुश था ना, मैं तो फिर अहमद न्याजी, मैं कहाँ से कर सकता हूँ? तो जॉर्ज बुश तो कर सकता है।
वैसे off the, I mean, jokes aside, that's real, that's true. George Bush actually did Naswar.
यस
Right?
सर,
For those of you who do not know, he did do Naswar, and some people say that he invaded Afghanistan for Naswar. कि उधर अच्छी क्वालिटी की नस्वार होती है, तो अफगानिस्तान जो है ना जाने मैंने नस्वार लेने। उसको पता नहीं था असली अच्छी जो नस्वार है वो बन्नू की होती है ना? अहमद को पता है ना?
बिल्कुल बन्नू की नस्वार में कहता हूँ बिल्कुल ओके है।
ओके नहीं है यार, टॉप क्वालिटी नस्वार है यार, बन्नू की नस्वार।
ओके मतलब टॉप क्वालिटी है।
Banu Naswar is the best one. So, compulsive buying behavior. Any of you feel you're compulsive towards anything? Addicted, out of control?
Sir, food items.
Okay. What type of food item?
Sir, I like eating fries and cold drinks. I'm addicted.
So whenever you see fries anywhere, you'll just go and buy fries.
Yes, sir. I eat daily.
Okay. आप तो लाहौरी नहीं है?
मैं?
Yes.
No, sir.
Because लाहौरी जो होते हैं ना, they're addicted to food.
No, sir. Not at all.
सर वो
मैं
तो
पंजाबी
देखते भी
नहीं
नहीं
हूँ.
है क्या खाना है क्या नहीं खाना, शुरू हो जाते हैं।
I like Lahore वैसे. Do you guys know this thing? Lahore is the food capital of South Asia.
Yes sir.
There are more restaurants per square kilometer in Lahore than in any other city in the whole of South Asia.
ऐसी बात।
Right? So there's a big cultural difference. वो कौन है हमारी क्लास में जो कराची से आया था, वो आया हुआ है आज? कराची से ट्रांसफर किया था जिसने? I don't think he's here today. So कराची वाले कहते नहीं जी हम खाने ज्यादा खाते हैं. Actually, it's a cultural thing, right? And culturally, Lahoris like to eat out, right? Lahori people like to eat out. So whereas in Karachi, most of the time they don't like to eat out as much as Lahori people do. Karachi में there's a big culture कि आप घर से lunch लेके जाएंगे दफ्तर. Whereas Lahore, that does not exist, right? In Lahore, it is you make your food, you do not make your food and you take it to work with you. You go to work and then you go out for having lunch or dinner or whatever, right? Okay, moving on, consumer innovativeness. Okay, consumer innovativeness is the degree to which customers are receptive to new products, new services, or new practices. So they're open to buying new products. That is consumer innovativeness. Consumer innovators are likely to score low on dogmatism, they have a higher need for uniqueness and higher optimum stimulation levels, higher need for sensation seeking and variety seeking behaviors. So is any one of you who feel that they like to buy, whenever this new thing comes out, they like to buy new products or new services. Oh, that became too small.
सर फॉर मी अगर उसके फीचर्स और वो सारी चीज़ें प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में एग्जिस्ट करेंगी और मुझे वो कंफर्ट लेवल देंगी, देन आई विल गो फॉर इट.
But see, the innovators are not necessarily those people who look at those things. They just want the new thing, right? So these are the people who will, sleep on the footpath, on the pavement, the night before a new mobile phone is launched, right? These are the innovators. Yeah, they have to have the new technology. They have to have it before everybody else. So as soon as the new product comes out, they need to be the first to go and purchase that new product, right? Khwateen mein, I think it's a bit sexist, but it's true to some extent. New suits, right? So somebody was telling me there's a brand where Pakistani brand where when the new designer thing is launched, they launch it at midnight. I think raat ko 12 baje they launch it, and by 1 o'clock in the morning, all of the things are sold out. Any of you young ladies do that? Do you know which brand I'm talking about?
No, sir.
So now you have to tell.
I need to find out. Okay, I'll find out the name of the brand for you guys, and then let you know. But there is one brand when the new
Sapphire?
products. I think it's Sapphire. I think it's Sapphire. As soon as the new one is launched, within like 1 hour, raat ko hi, they're all sold out, right? I think Taqwa buys clothes from Sapphire.
No, sir. इतने ज़्यादा नहीं. कभी-कभी.
Kabhi. Okay. So that is like, that's consumer innovativeness where people have to have that latest brand. Okay. Consumer materialism, we talked about this earlier, but materialism basically means possessions are seen as one's identity. People who are materialistic, they value acquiring and showing off possessions. So Instagram पे वो लोग जिन्होंने अपने बड़ी गुची बेल्ट की वो जो तस्वीर डाली होती है, राइट? वो प्राडा का हैंडबैग लेके उसकी तस्वीर डाली होती है, राइट? या फिर those people who taken pictures in front of their cars, right? Those are the people who are on that materialistic dimension. Oftentimes, they're particularly self-centered and selfish people. They seek lifestyles full of possessions, have many possessions that do not lead to greater happiness. And that's what the research says. Possessions do not lead to happiness. I think there was a study by Harvard University, if I'm not wrong, and this study looked at people who are about to die, hospital bed, they have cancer or whatever, they don't have much time to live. And they asked them questions, okay, what do you regret in life? And one of the biggest regrets for a lot of those people were that, okay, all the possessions we have, all the things that we have, we regret we did not spend enough time with our family. We did not spend enough time with our friends. We did not enjoy life. All the material possessions we have, it did not make any difference. And I think we've seen that now more so in today's day and age, during the COVID-19 period, because somebody said something very interesting. एक मेरा दोस्त है, उससे मैं बात कर रहा था, उन्होंने कहा यार मेरे पास 4 गाड़ियां खड़ी हैं घर में, लेकिन मैं कोई भी गाड़ी यूज नहीं कर सकता, बाहर ही नहीं जा रहे, right? This was at the height of the COVID lockdown period. So he says, क्या फायदा having all these cars, but I cannot drive any of the cars, I cannot go out. Okay. I think each one of us is materialistic to a certain extent. Every one of us is materialistic to some degree. There's no doubt about that. But in this case, what we're talking about, people who are on the extreme end, the outliers on the materialistic phase, who are the extremely materialistic. I think, if we look at it really, each one would be materialistic for certain type of things. We would want certain type of things as part of our life. It could be a car. For some people, it could be, yes, I want this type of car. Okay, they could be materialistic towards that thing. For example, Maryam and Rubab, Taqwa and Narfa, these guys are materialistic towards Harley Davidson. They need to have that heavy bike, right? For some people, it could be perfumes, it could be watches, it could be handbags, it could be shoes, whatever. Each one of us will have something that we are materialistic towards, right? But some people are materialistic to bus only possessions, right? That is the extreme end that we're talking about, okay? And that is the type of people who are described as self-centered and selfish, okay? So just because Rubab and Maryam are into Harley Davidson bikes does not mean they're self-centered, okay? It's just that they like that one particular type of product, that one particular category. They need to have those heavy bikes, okay? But we're talking about the extreme example of people who are materialistic in everything, right? That is show-offs and so on and so forth, okay? So materialistic people are, what we're saying, to the extreme end of the materialistic phase. But in reality, each one of us is materialistic to some extent, to some degree, okay? It could be for one type of product category, it could be certain type of product categories, but a lot of people are. And that is the reality in this current day and age that we live in, right? Because that's just the way how things are. Social media, the television and stuff, it has made us in that particular way. We have become more materialistic. Then there's something called the ethnocentric consumer. Hint, hint, this is important. It might come in the final exam. So ethnic-centric consumers feel it is wrong to purchase foreign-made products. They can be targeted by stressing nationalistic themes. Anybody here who's ethnocentric? Any one of you who feel they're ethnocentric?
Yes.
Who's that?
So it's me.
Mubin. Okay, so you don't like buying foreign products? You prefer Pakistani?
नहीं मुझे वो गलत सुन लिया, sorry sir.
No, that means people who prefer Pakistani products. They don't buy foreign products. Okay, again, when we say ethnocentric, that is the extreme end of the ethnocentric side. Okay, people who are extremely ethnocentric. Maybe each one of us is ethnocentric to some extent in certain type of products and services. Okay, I'll give you an example. Or I don't know what to call it, what that would be, but like, so me personally, I would never buy Indian products. I just do not buy Indian products. Okay, so one time घर वालों ने मुझे भेजा कि जी जाके इमली ले, right? So this is in London. So I went out and I came back 2 hours later. They're like, "Oh, भाई तुम किधर चले थे? गायब हो गए थे। एक इमली लेने भेजा था." I was like, "Yeah, I could not find any imli that was, all the imlis that I was buying, it said, product of India." So I went to one store, it said product of India. मैंने कहा मैंने नहीं खरीदना. I went to another store. I kept going, through all the stores until finally I found one imli that was from Thailand. I was like, yes, this is the imli I'm buying. I'm not buying Indian products. So I'm ethnocentric from that perspective. I will not buy Indian products, no matter what, right? So whenever I buy something, I look at the label. If it says made in India, thank you very much. I'm not buying it. Why do I do that? Well, that is more of a moral, ethical perspective, because eventually, if you're buying something that is made in India, eventually some money is going to go to the Indian government through taxes or duties or whatever. And part of that money is going to be used by the Indian government for their army, to give, and that army, what are they doing in Kashmir? They are oppressing, they're killing, innocent civilians. I do not want to be a part of that system. Therefore, I do not buy anything that is made in India. So I am an extremely very tough, person from that perspective. I will not buy anything that is made in India, no matter what, right? I'll ज़्यादा महंगी चीज खरीद लूंगा. I will travel, an extra hour, 2 hours to find something which is not made in India. I will do away with the product. I will not use the product. I just will not buy Indian things. Anybody here who is similar to me, as extreme crazy as I am?
सर somehow आपकी तरह हूँ, लेकिन इंडियन मैं भी नहीं लेता.
Okay.
मैं चाइना की नहीं देता.
मोबाइल फोन कौन सा रखा हुआ है तुमने?
सर मैंने जो रखा हुआ है क्यों मोबाइल है.
क्यों मोबाइल? मेड इन चाइना.
ओहो सर चाइना.
You cannot escape China. You can escape India. You cannot escape China. There's two people in this world that you cannot escape. If you think you can boycott Jews, impossible, because Jewish people inevitably will own, will have ownership in something and everything that we have today. And Chinese people, right? Again, everything you buy, it will have Chinese in it. iPhone, right? It's an American company. It's made in China. Okay, so Q Mobile to hai Chinese. Under, if you look at it, circuit board, chips, सारे China के बने होंगे.
सर जो हम पाकिस्तान में चाइना की चीजें ले रहे हैं ना, वो उसमें चाइना वाला है, लेकिन आप डायरेक्ट चाइना से इंपोर्ट करो, ऐसी बेस्ट क्वालिटी, इट्स लास्ट लॉन्गर.
Yes, because the Chinese people will make different qualities of products, right? So they, like in the UK, if you go, you will look, almost everything is made in China. Okay, so if you go to like a low-level store, things are made in China. If you go to mid-level store, things are made in China. If you go to a luxury brand, a lot of the luxury stores, the things are also made in China. So a pair of shoes which cost you, I don't know, say 30 pounds, will be made in China. A pair of shoes which cost, say 70 pounds, will be made in China. And a pair of shoes that cost 170 pounds will also be made in China. They make different quality of products. Pakistan, unfortunately, they sell the low quality stuff. One thing I do not buy when it comes to fruits and vegetables, I do not buy Chinese fruits and vegetables. And I don't buy that because the quality of the things. There was a big program I saw on Al Jazeera or CNN or something like that. And they showed that these Chinese people, what they do is, जो factory का गंदा पानी नहीं होता, right? And that's got chemicals in it, right? So the government of China told these people, कि all this water is going to waste. Why don't you use this water and grow some crops with it? So
Yes,
what you're supposed to do is, that dirty water, you're supposed to put it through filtration plants, right? You're supposed to filter that water. Once you filter it out, all the chemicals are taken out, and then you have clean water. And then you use the clean water, and वो आप साथ खेत लगा लें, अब सब्जियां उगानी शुरू कर दें, जो कुछ करने शुरू कर दें. What these guys are doing,
Sorry, sir.
what these guys are doing is, without filtering that water, वो गंदा पानी जो है ना, वो उससे वो सब्जियां उगा रहे हैं, फल उगा रहे हैं, and so on and so forth, right? और वो सब्जियां फल जो किधर आ रही है? पाकिस्तान आ रही है. In the UK, in the United Kingdom, you can buy everything that is made in China. Everything that's made in China. You will not find fruits and vegetables that come from China, right? Literally, you can, when one day I opened my fridge and I took a picture, and I think I put a post on it on Facebook or something. And I said, like, I have the whole world in my fridge, literally, right? I had cherries from Chile, which is the other end of the world, South America. I had strawberries from Egypt. I had mangoes from Pakistan. I had citrus fruit from Spain. I had apples from New Zealand. I mean, from all over the world. The only thing I did not have were fruits and vegetables from China, because Chinese fruits and vegetables, in terms of quality, they're not allowed in the UK market. So whenever I go to the market, I buy fruits and vegetables. I always ask them, यार ये सेब किधर के हैं? अगर Chinese सेब है, मैंने नहीं खरीदने. अगर Chinese mushrooms है, thank you very much. I do not want to buy it. I just don't buy Chinese foods and stuff. But that is not being ethnocentric. That is just, you know, avoiding eating unhealthy products and stuff.
सर अभी जो नया ट्रेंड चला हुआ है एक्वापॉनिक्स का, तो
Okay.
अगर आपको उस तरह से फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स बनाई जाएं तो आप क्या खरीदेंगे उसको?
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, in Europe already a lot of those things are made like that.
यस सर, दैट्स एक्चुअली ऑर्गेनिक वे है ना, नेचुरल है.
Yeah, that's okay. Because you see, Chinese are using the chemical water for growing fruits and vegetables, which is lethal, which is very, very dangerous. Okay, nobody else ethnocentric. I do not watch Indian movies. I stopped watching Indian movies. I don't listen to their songs. That is how, you know, extremist I am. मेरे अंदर जो पठान और राजपूत जो है ना, वो जो मिक्स हो जाते हैं ना, तो फिर थोड़ा सा लीथल कॉम्बिनेशन बन जाती है.
फिर हैवी मामलात हो जाते हैं.
हैवी मामलात.
Lethal combination बन जाती है, right? Yeah, so I will not buy anything that is made in India ever. Achha, interestingly, I'll tell you something interesting. When we look at the quality of the products, right? So in terms of the quality of the products, जो कपड़ा है, Pakistani कपड़ा is considered better quality than Indian कपड़ा, right? And yet, I've seen here in Pakistan, लोग, oh जी ये देखे जी इंडिया से कपड़ा है, right? UK में, Europe में, UAE में, most Indians they prefer buying Pakistani कपड़ा, right? Why? उसकी quality ज़्यादा अच्छी होती है, okay? Especially, and the price is more also for Pakistani cloth. The price is more also. Especially जब इन्होंने शादी वादी पे जाना होता है ना, अच्छे कपड़े जब खरीदने होते हैं, then they go and buy Pakistani brands. They don't buy their local Indian brands. Okay. If you look at the mangoes, the best mangoes in the world are Pakistani mangoes. What are Indians doing? They buy the Pakistani mangoes in bulk, and then they put a stamp on it. You know, Indian mango, and then they export it to other countries. They get a higher price for it. Hota hai Pakistani mango. Basmati rice, again, best rice is Pakistani rice. Indians को खरीदते हैं और उसके ऊपर label लगाते हैं Indian rice, and then they export it. I know this because मेरे student था in the UK. He then moved to Dubai, and he was from Afghanistan, and he was doing this business. So one day I was in Dubai. He took me out for a restaurant. तो हमने बैठ के बड़ा मजे का दम पुख्त खाया था उधर दुबई में. Anyways, he told me this. He said, "Sir, यहाँ पर जो है ना, ये जो लिखा होता है Indian rice, ये सारा जो है ना उधर से आता है, पाकिस्तान से आता है. All they do is they buy it and then they put the stamp on it that it is Indian, and then they sell it in the market, right?" So quality wise, if you look at the leather goods, okay, जो Pakistani leather है, we have lesser amount of leather, but we sell it to the high end brands. Okay, so if you go to like the lower end brands, you will go there and you see okay, jacket, shoes that are made in India. But if you want like the Pakistani leather, you're gonna have to go to the higher end, Hugo Boss, Armani, those type of brands. Then you'll see things that say made in Pakistan on it, right? So quality wise, we're better anyways from them. And yet people somehow they prefer Indian stuff. Again, why do we do it? Because of their media, right? It's the media tells you, oh, okay, you know, Indian stuff is better, so buy Indian stuff. Okay, moving on. So how do we use the research insight from consumer materialism to compulsive consumption. Consumer materialism, as we've discussed earlier, is the extent to which a person is considered materialistic, right? Fixed consumption behavior is consumers fixated on certain products or categories of products. And compulsive consumption is people who are addicted or out of control consumers. So fixated consumption behavior, consumers have a deep interest in a particular object or product category, a willingness to go to considerable lengths to secure items in that category of interest. These are people who are dedicated, they could be collectors, they could be hobbyists, right? They will spend a lot of time searching for a particular type of product category. They'll spend a lot of money on that. Anybody here who's a hobbyist or a collector?
Sir, it's again me.
Okay, what type of things?
Sir, shoes and clothes and suits.
Okay, what type of shoes?
Sir, leather shoes, sneakers. उसके बाद
Okay, oh, you go
मतलब
first. Okay. How many pairs of shoes do you have?
Right now, I think it's 25, 30.
क्या बात है. Usually guys have got like 3 pairs of shoes, literally. है ना, यही होता है ना.
Yes,
एक कैंची चप्पल होंगे, एक वो स्नीकर्स होंगे और एक फॉर्मल पेयर ऑफ शूज होंगे काले रंग के.
नहीं
राइट?
सर, ऐसा नहीं।
खेड़ी भी होगी सर, भूल गया आप सर.
I also have more than 20 shoes.
क्या बात है, मुबश्शिर also. अच्छा.
Oh my God.
Usually it's the girls who got like more shoes, right?
Yes sir.
I see somebody talking, but I can't hear them. 78 pairs of shoes. Who said that?
नहीं सर।
पीछे से आवाजें आ रही हैं. I think अहमद, यार तुम्हारे बैकग्राउंड में टीवी तो नहीं ऑन है?
No sir, टीवी कहाँ से सर, अभी सुबह अल्लाह करते हैं टीवी कहाँ है?
ये हैप्पी बर्थडे किसकी हो रही है यार पीछे? Okay, let's talk. Let's ask some of the young ladies. Taqwa, how many pairs of shoes? Taqwa, are you here with us?
Yes sir.
Yes. Are you a shoes person?
सर काउंट नहीं किए कभी.
But are you a shoes person?
Yes sir. Shoes and clothes.
Shoes and clothes. Do you have every color of shoes available under the sun?
Yes sir.
Achha, good. Okay, so you're one of those type of people. That's totally understandable. Let's see. Narfa, are you a shoes person?
No, sir.
Okay, you're not a shoes person. How many pairs of shoes would you say you have?
Sir, कभी count नहीं किए, but I think so more than 20.
Okay, see, this is the difference. So the guys who say we are shoes people, we have about 20 plus pairs. And the young lady who says she's not a shoes person, she's got more than 20, right? So you see, there's a big difference here, right? Women, young ladies generally will have more shoes than guys, right? Rubab, how many pairs of shoes?
So like they're like different of like variety होती है हमारे shoes में. Like I have got 20 pair of khursas and 6 pair of heels and then shoes, sneakers and all. इस तरह करके like there are on many. बहुत ज़्यादा है.
Okay, so just the khursa, that 20 pair.
Yes sir.
Wow. Okay. What about like sneakers or trainers or Pakistan में joggers कहते हैं? I don't like that term.
Like I've got like 5 to 6. Yeah.
5 to 6. Ooh, okay, that's quite good. Mariam.
Yes, sir.
Are you a shoes person?
I'm an average person. Like itne 4 pairs of khusas I have.
Okay.
And sneakers 2 pairs I have.
Okay.
And heels 8 to 10.
Okay.
I don't wear flat ones. I wear heel.
Right. Okay. So there we go. You see, generally between guys and girls, girls have more shoes, right? Guys generally have lesser shoes, right? Um, so any of the other guys, right? Just give me an estimate. How many pairs of shoes would you have? अहमद न्याजी भाई, अहमद न्याजी को तो नस्वार के पड़े हुए थे, काफी सारे नस्वार पड़े हुए।
यस सर। सर शूज सर बहुत ज्यादा है मेरे पास भी सर, गिने नहीं है लेकिन मैंने।
अच्छा, किस
Yes,
किस
sir.
किस्म के जूते हैं?
सर खेड़ियाँ खुस्से हैं और
Okay.
बूट हैं और
Okay.
क्या नाम है सर, वो एक होती है, वो उसे पता नहीं क्या कहते हैं, वो सर नहीं, वो जो पहले पहनते थे पुराने जमाने में, वो जिसके अंदर से आवाज भी आती
मोजे।
थी, खिड़िच 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 वाली।
मोजे कहते हैं, मोजे।
हमने जी मोजे कौन पहनता जी खेड़ियों के नीचे।
बड़े बेहतरीन लगते हैं ब्रदर।
वाह जी, फिर आप पहना करो, मैं तो नहीं पहनता।
Okay. Okay.
सर वो एक बड़ी अच्छी सी जूती होती है, उसके अंदर से ना वो जब पहन के आप बड़ी टाइट सी होती है, वो जब चलते हैं ना आप, ये बड़ी अच्छी आवाज, एक साउंड आता है।
अच्छा, I know what you mean. ठीक है. Okay, good.
यस सर।
Anybody else?
जी सर।
अब्दुल, हाँ जी मुबशर, बताएं यार, how many shoes?
सर मैंने बताया तकरीबन हर कलर के ही है, मोर देन 20 शूज। अगर आप कोई मतलब जो भी कलर आप मैंने पहनना हो तो मुझे मिल जाता है इजीली।
अच्छा, फॉर्मल शूज है या लाइक सेमी फॉर्मल या what type of are you interested in?
सर फॉर्मल भी हैं, बीच में कुछ स्नीकर्स हैं, कुछ लोफर हैं, कुछ
Okay.
चंकी शूज हैं,
Okay.
कुछ मॉन्क स्ट्रैप में, इस तरह मिक्स है
Okay.
सर।
Okay, good. So you are a shoes person also. क्या बात है? Anybody else, guys? No. I think I'm a shoes person myself.
Yes, sir, I have seen your Insta stories.
I'm a shoes person myself.
शूज सूट सारे पर्सन है सर।
Yeah, I am quite into those type of things. Ties, shoes, cufflinks, socks,
Watches.
watches, socks. मेरे पास मेरे ख्याल में तकरीबन 150 pair of socks है.
Awesome.
In every color I can think of, and all types of things. एक जूते जो है ना, you know, I'm the type of person who if I like a pair of shoe and I don't buy it and I miss it, फिर मुझे रात में वो ख्वाब में जूते आते रहते हैं, right? I once missed very nice pair of shoes. अभी तक जो है ना कितने साल हो गए, right? लोग को लड़कियों को ख्वाब आते रहते हैं, मुझे जूतों के ख्वाब आते रहते हैं। There was this Dolce and Gabbana D&G shoes. So there's a place in London, outside London, near Oxford. It's called the Bicester Village. Bicester Village is a designer outlet. So they've got all the designer stores there. So they've got the D&G, they got the Hugo Boss, Armani, Prada, Polo, Ralph Lauren, etc., etc. So I went there one time and I saw these burgundy shoes, right? So men's formal shoes either come in brown or black, right? Or different shades of brown, different shades of black. But I saw these formal shoes which were burgundy colored. And I was like, whoa, that is a very nice shoe. Yeah, I put it on, I tried it, and that was a very, very nice shoe. It was a bit pricey, 370 pounds, which is like $500-600, something like that, $500 का जूता था, right? तो मैंने कहा यार मैं ऐसे करता हूँ कि साथ वो Armani or Hugo Boss के store थे, let me go and check over there to see if I've got something better, a different design. I went there, I could not find anything. I went to the next stop. I could not find anything. So then what I did was came back. I said, okay, I want to buy those shoes. When I came back, literally like in 1 hour, and what happened was my size was sold out, right? So I was so gutted. I was so sad. Then I asked them, yeah, can you check your other stores around the UK? That salesperson, she checked all the stores in the UK, then she checked stores in Europe, and she's like, sorry, sir, that design has been sold out. And the way how these guys work, they produce small batches. So once that batch is sold out, they do not make it again. Okay. So आज तक जो है ना वो I was like, you know, I've been feeling bad. I missed those shoes, right?
सर लेकिन इस तरह के ब्रांड्स में आपको ऑल्टर करके दे देते होते हैं अगर आपका साइज ना मिल रहा हो।
नहीं, not shoes यार, not shoes. For suits, yes you can, but not shoes.
कर देते हैं सर शूज।
Not पाकिस्तान में शायद कर रहे होंगे, यूके यूरोप में कोई नहीं करता इस तरह का। Yeah, D&G will not alter shoes for you, right? So yeah, that was like a very, very nice pair of burgundy shoes. But finally I found one at a British designer called Russell Bromley. They make very nice shoes. I got a burgundy pair of shoes from Russell Bromley. But अभी भी वो वाले जूते जो है ना मुझे ख्वाब में आते हैं, right? Because I'm a shoes sort of a person. So that's like fixated consumption, when we're fixated on a certain brand or certain type of thing. Any questions? Any comments, queries?
Yes, sir.
All clear, sir.
All clear? Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to stop for the day here. And what we are going to do is I will do a quiz at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock किसी class तो नहीं है यहाँ पर?
No, sir.
Okay, so I will upload a quiz at 2 o'clock, and at 3 o'clock I'll close the quiz, right? So all the stuff we've done so far today, okay, from those things the quiz will come, okay? So because I see only like 15, 16 people who are online, I want you guys to benefit from the quiz. The rest of the buffoons who are not here, obviously they will not benefit from this, right? So at 2 o'clock or before 2 o'clock, I'll try to upload the quiz. Do the quiz at 3 o'clock, the quiz will be closed, right? 3 baje quiz band ho jayega, right? So I want all of you to benefit. Attendance kar liye sabne?
Yes, sir. वहाँ present लिख दिया था।
I've got 14 people who've done the attendance. I've got 16 people in class.
Sir, can you please guide me towards the attendance?
You have to go.
क्या procedure है?
Google Classroom में जाए. Google Classroom में click on classwork on the top. Classwork के नीचे scroll down to attendance, and once you do that, just click on turn in, and that's it.
सर आपने जो अभी अपलोड किया है फाइल उसमें जाके we have to turn in.
Click on Classroom. Classroom में ऊपर Classwork की section है. Classwork के नीचे attendance है. And just click on turn in. You don't need to do anything. You can write your name if you want in there, and that's it.
सर ये जो अटेंडेंस था ये मतलब शुरू में हमारे लिए थोड़ा ट्रिकी था, मतलब हमें नहीं पता था कि ये अटेंडेंस है, क्योंकि इसके ऊपर एक आता था कि क्वेश्चंस का आता था कि आपको क्वेश्चन करना है, तो ये
क्वेश्चन है बस अपना नाम लिख लो यार, ये जस्ट टर्न इन कर दे, दैट्स इट।
जी सर। वो फिर कल मैंने एक लड़के से पूछा तो उसने मुझे बताया था कि ये अटेंडेंस के लिए आता है, तो आप अटेंडेंस करें, तो मैंने कुछ मेरी 1-2 अटेंडेंस पीछे की वो मैंने फिर नहीं लगाई।
वो यार एट द एंड ऑफ सेमेस्टर विल फिगर समथिंग आउट।
ओके सर।
सर ये जो लास्ट क्विज हुआ था उसमें सर मार्क्स बहुत कम आए थे और क्लास पार्टिसिपेशन के भी नंबर बहुत 0 ही आए थे, उसका क्या सर सीन है?
तो लास्ट क्लास आप आई इतना लेट थे यार, आपने क्विज फिर क्या करना है?
सर
मैं आया था बैठा था सर।
सर ये मेरा फर्स्ट क्विज सर नहीं हुआ क्योंकि मुझे लेट
So
इनविटेशन
what's
मिला
going to
था।
happen is, in terms of the quizzes, what's going to happen is we will take, I think, the best 9 out of 10 or something like that. So एक अगर quiz miss कर लिया, that's okay. Don't miss any more quizzes in the future. ठीक है ना?
ओके हो गए सर, आपने क्या आपके लिए
और यार आप लोग वीडियो कोई ऑन ही नहीं करता कसम से. It's so boring looking at.
Sir, next class.
कर लिए क्या?
वाजिद ने कर लिया है.
आप हुक्म करें सर, सारे प्यार
सर
बैठे
आप कहें तो सही, सर आप कहें तो हम ऑन करें।
आदिल ने टाई बड़ी फिट पहनी हुई यार. यू लुकिंग स्मार्ट.
क्या बात है आदिल.
सर आदिल ऑफिस जाते हैं, हम घर बैठे होते हैं सर, हम क्या टाइम।
आज आदिल कौन आई हुई थी यार दफ्तर? मीटिंग थी. अच्छा मीटिंग थी. ये कोड वर्ड आजकल चल रहा है. सही है, ठीक है.
ये तो बहाना मिल गया मुझे।
इसका पता चल इसकी कोई कॉलीग होगी ना दफ्तर में, कोई होगी बैठी होगी.
यस सर, बिल्कुल.
हाँ यस सी पता चल गया. देखिए
सर मल्ले की सहेली है इसकी।
इसका पता चल गया. ठीक है. आदिल को जो है that's a nice guy यार. Looking smart.
मतलब सर आप डिस्टर्ब करते हैं आदिल को सर इस टाइम क्लास लेके. इस टाइम क्लास सभी करनी चाहिए.
नहीं डिस्टर्ब नहीं होते यार, वो तो दिखा रहे थे. देखो जी
मैं काफी अटेंटिव होता हूँ.
क्या बात है.
अटेंटिव किसकी तरफ अटेंटिव होते हैं?
की सहेली की
पता चल गया. देखिए सीक्रेट आउट हो गया यार आदिल.
सर शर्मार है वो, देखो
आदिल का सीक्रेट आउट हो गया.
सर आपसे क्या छुपाना आप?
तो फिर सब क्या छुपाना.
We'll talk later. तकवा का इंटरनेट का बड़ा मसला चल रहा है मुझे लगता है.
Yes sir.
You keep on like joining and then unjoining and joining and unjoining.
Net slow हो गया है.
Net slower. Which internet connection do you have?
PTCL.
PTCL. Okay.
सर दिन को वैसे ही नेट स्लो हो जाता है सर.
हाँ दिन
को उठ जाती है ना सर.
दिन को नेट स्लो हो जाता है. You will not believe it. I've got like 3 devices sitting here. अभी I'm connected to Neotel. Yes, I'm connected to Neotel. उसके अलावा उस दिन मैंने जाके ये खरीदा है. ये डब्बा है. I cannot show you. Can I show you? I can show you. Can you see this? ये जैज का डब्बा मैंने खरीदा है. Right? It cost me a good 5,500 रुपए for this thing. And then I've got Telenor का वो डिवाइस पड़ी हुई है मेरे पास. और मोबाइल पे मैंने Zong का कनेक्शन रखा हुआ है. So that rub the master यार. Zong is horrendous. It depends.
मैंने Zong बड़ा बेहतरीन नेट है सर. नया टाइम
Actually it depends where you are, right? In some places Zong is very good. In some places Mobilink is good. Some places Telenor is good. यहाँ पर जो है I don't know what is good, so I've gotten all of the connections.
सर कितनी सारे नेट लगे बाकी तो सारे के पास.
PTCL चलाती है बहुत तेज चल रहा है. जिन लोगों ने फाइबर ऑप्टिक का कनेक्शन लगाया है PTCL का, right? It's doing really well for them. Somebody was telling me they're getting 40-45 megabits per second on PTCL line. Yeah, right. So yes, PTCL when it works really good. अब Jazz का वो मुझे कोई बता रहा था कि they're getting 48 megabits per second on Jazz, right? मेरा 7-8 आता है इसके ऊपर. Okay, so it depends, I guess. All depends. Okay, guys, I'll see you guys on Friday, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
Take it easy. 2 o'clock. The quiz is going to be up. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, what about the slides, sir? Are you going to upload them or what?
Yes, I'll upload the slides also, but I'll do it on Friday because we've not finished all of the things yet. Yeah, अभी कर दूँ.
सर कर दे, हम पढ़ लेंगे एडवांस में.
अभी कर देंगे तो it would be better. हमें
I will do it now. Okay, I'll just do it now. 1 second. I'm just doing it as we speak. Upload file. This is personality. Add file from computer. Upload file. Browse the file. किधर है? Shiftman chapter 4. Okay, it is uploading. And select topic, enter the class material. ठीक है ना? And I say post, and it is posted. There you go. So
Rogers, I got it.
It's been uploaded right now. So see, this is a good thing about Natal's good connection. If you have good connection, 600 KB uploaded in a second, literally. Okay, guys, take care. Enjoy rest of the week. I will see you guys on Friday at 11 o'clock, and your quiz will be up at 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock quiz will close. Okay, so quiz will close at 3 p.m. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Have a fun rest of the week, and on Friday more to see everybody. Adil की तरह ना smartly dressed everyone.
सर एक और चक्कर है सर, एंड्रॉइड में ये मोबाइल में ओपन नहीं होता सर मीटिंग गूगल में।
क्यों नहीं होता यार? ये तो गूगल ने बनाया हुआ है। अब गूगल क्लासरूम डाउनलोड कर लेना, गूगल मीट डाउनलोड कर लें।
अच्छा चलिए सर,
गूगल मीट की ऐप है, डाउनलोड द गूगल मीट ऐप एंड यू शुड बी रेडी टू गो।
ओके हो गया सर, इंशाल्लाह मैं तैयार होकर बैठूंगा सर अगली क्लास।
सही है ना?
ओके
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you.
ओके सर, सी यू, बाय। आदिल भाई बंद कर दो, क्लास खत्म होगी।
आदिल बंद कर दो, प्यारे लग रहे हो, कोई बात
आदिल भाई बस देख लिया आपकी टाई यार, बंद कर दो। और वाजिद भाई क्या मामला है जी, ये ओपन नहीं होता यहाँ। नहीं उठ रहा हूँ, लेट हो रहे जान। और आदिल भाई, और आदिल भाई, ओ आदिल भाई।